We're back, and it's later on a Monday than I usually do this, but that's fine. Welcome to Coffee and Resales. My name's Ryan. I get stuff at yard sales, garage sales, thrift stores, and Texas, and flip them online. I was in Texas for the Eclipse. It was awesome. You should have gone. And I had 14 sales while I was gone. Left Thursday-ish, got back yesterday, and raked it in. So, we're going to go over that. And we're going to go over a couple things I may have bought in Texas, if I can find them. I actually didn't get that much. And then I'm going to get out of here because I've got another job to do. And we got to get things done. So let's do it. Okay. And I sold a whole bunch of different stuff. Mostly books, but we're going to start off with two of my other specialties. First is where you go? This one, $7. Hot Wheels 2007 Chevy Tahoe official dragway rescue car. Fun little truck, $7. So I'll make $1 on it. This is the type of thing. I probably got this in a big bag or a big box of Hot Wheels, and it's one of the things like, I bet I could sell that one individually. So on eBay for a few bucks more. Should I have pulled it and tried to sell it 50 cents a yard sale? Maybe at the flea market, maybe. But time proved me right. It was sitting a little long, so with all the relistings and stuff, it probably really wasn't quite worth it. It moved a little too slow. But $7 for that thing. Again, something, and they're easy to look up. If you see a bin full of Hot Wheels and Matchbox, not the cheap made in China stuff, or better, like Road Champs and Jolly Lightning are real good, Ertl, some of those other cars, and they're in halfway decent shape, and there's a lot of realistic stuff in them. Quarter a piece. Don't go over that. Pull them out. 9 times out of 10, I want to say every time that I've bought a large batch of cars, I have been able to flip some out of them for $10 or more. So they're in there. You just got to know what you're looking for. Next up, another vehicle. It's been living up here. It's a trailer. Does it go in the back? Oh, it doesn't have a trailer hitch. It would be cool. Anyway, this is actually older. This is what we have this tagged as. Matchbox Super Fast number 31 Caravan. This is like an 1970s, 1980s. Really good paint. Really good shape. So this one went for $8. So worth grabbing. You don't have to make a bunch of money, but 4 or 5 that are in there, grab them, flip them. Anyway, next up, on to neither book nor toy. It's a capacitor. This is a motor run capacitor, probably for air conditioning units. See that bad boy right there? Bought a bin full, like a bunch of these at an estate sale. They were $1 a piece. I think the guy did HVAC on the side, and there were a bunch of these similar ones for $1 a piece. I've sold a bunch of them, somewhere between $10 and $20 for most of them, I believe. Made my money back. This is one of the last ones left. So glad to see it out the door. And this one went. What did this one go for? Yeah, this one went for $10. So, new, old, stock parts that look weird. Get them. All right. Next up. Mr. Cotter. Welcome back, Cotter Books. There's a pair of these here. Both of these sold them together for $8.25. So I want to say I picked one up. I got them at separate places. Saw that they really weren't going individually all that well, like maybe $5. Not worth throwing them in individually because you couldn't get more than $6 for them. But paired them up, got them moved. I don't know that I really made money. At most, I probably paid 50 cents a piece. So maybe made $1 on them. Was it worth it? Probably not. But sometimes it's hard to pass up these old TV books. So anyway, good to go. This Joker I've been sitting on way too long, and it's surprisingly, it's really surprising. And I don't know if there's just no good way to describe it where people can see it, or if something else. But this is a 1980s Hot Cars, Flash Cars. It's got pictures of a lot of 80s, early 90s supercars in it. This thing's really cool. And I think a car collector or somebody I think I could have gotten the right person. I could have sold this $20 for. But the way there's no popular descriptor for it. Hot cars, flash cars, watermill press, supercars, Lamborghini. It didn't click till some dude in Germany bought this. So I only got about $7 plus shipping on this because you had to pay the extra shipping and get it shipped. So I think if you're a car collector out there, you missed out on this one. I think that this would have been fun. So anyway, I've had that for years. It's one of those things. It's like I can't just get rid of it. I gotta find. Should I brought it out to flea market? Maybe somebody will hit on it. Probably. I just kept forgetting about it. So anyway, there we go. There. All right. Next up. $8. Clash of the Titans paperback from like the original Clash of the Titans movie by Alan Dean Foster of all people. Imagine that. A little beat up, but $8 for that one. Movie adaptations. I'm starting to. I'll look them up now. Used to, there was at one point I would kind of grab a bunch of them, and there's a few I still do. But nowadays, I don't, without looking them up. It used to be automatic. I think there's a very specific market for movie adaptation paperbacks, but it's real limited, and I think most people have everything at this point. So I'm in a couple of paperback and book sale groups on Facebook, and I would throw a bunch up there and not get a whole lot of attention to them. So I think most of the people have everything except like some of the stuff that may be just really limited. So, and that I can probably get a little more on eBay for. Anyway, next up, what we got? This day, oh my God, where you go? Not that one yet. Yeah, $9 on Michael Moorcock, the Warlord of the Air. Yellow Doll Spine. I grab these at 50 cents or less whenever I see them. The Yellow Doll Spine stuff. Moorcock is an author that sometimes can sell by himself. But that Yellow Doll, these lot up really, really well. You've got a range of quality on the things. I mean, I think Heinlein even has a couple in that. Moorcock's a pretty revered science fiction fantasy author. But you've got there's 400 or 500 of the things, or maybe more than that. There's a few people out there collecting them, but not enough to where you can get more than a few bucks for a piece for most of them. But I do snag them at 50 cents a piece. I have success lotting them up in the $2 to $3 range. But this one in particular, Michael Moorcock, $9. I've got another one around this range that I'm hoping that I've got out for sale too. So there you go there. All right. Next up, what else is? What do we got? That's $30. That's $15. Okay, we'll go $15 now. Trying to go up. Hello, viewers. Like, comment, subscribe. Anyway, Christ and Culture by H. Richard Niebuhr. Germans. Anyway, this is a first edition of this book. You know, it will be a cover, but this one, I want to say when I looked these up, this one for $15. I want to say when I started looking these up, the later editions didn't sell as well. This came from the Methodist Church Hall, I believe, from a few weeks ago. I think it's already paid for itself already. So this was $15 for a first edition of Christ and Culture by Niebuhr. So that's what I'm going to call them until I'm corrected. Otherwise, and I'll probably still call them that because it's funny. Anyway, something me and small town bookseller are always telling you. We're going to keep telling you. Buy religion. I tell you, excuse me, buy older religion. If it ain't got a barcode, look it up. Because if it's under $1, grab it, look it up later, and light it up or something like that. If you, depending on how much time you got, because this is where the money is, I think, sometimes. So anyway, let's see more along that there, and then what else we got? That one was 50. That's going to be last. That's 30. Come back. Football fans. Comeback quarterback, the Earl Morrall story. This is sort of that matte binding, kind of like you got your old school Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew. But this is a biographical, sometimes autobiographical series on sports guys. I think I have one at the house on Dizzy Dean. But I decided to go ahead and flip this one. This one went for $10. So I think I radically undercut everybody out there. This is one of those that really, there was like one sale on eBay, and everybody else had skyrocketed the price on it. And I decided, I'm just going to go under there. Those guys are crazy. $10. Earl Morrall. Hardcover. So I like grabbing these at $1 or less. These types of books. So fun to grab. All right. Next up. This one's next. This is a fun title to say. I have no idea what it's talking about. Introduction to Automata Theory, Languages, and Computation. This is a 1979 book. So, this is the year I was born. That's old computer book. Things clean. No markings or anything like that. Somebody's homework's in it. Looks like somebody's homework is in it. There's a piece of yellow paper in there. So, yep, that's somebody's homework. So, anyway. There's another one. So, you're getting some supplemental materials on this one. Anyway, old textbooks on esoteric topics are worth, look them up. Don't just snag them. Really, really look this stuff up. This one was $22.22. I think this is off of Best Offer. I think I made an offer to somebody. I think the later editions of this don't sell all that well. This is like a first edition or something like that. So, worth grabbing, worth looking up. If it's a textbook type book with a weird title, long drawn out, look them up. There's probably some value there. It's one of those things that I've got a box full of them down there that you're going to be sitting on it. It's the type of thing you're going to look it up and somebody will have like $50, $80, $100 prices or more on them, and they'll sell once a year. Like, they wouldn't necessarily show up on Terapeak. But and if you've got the room to store them, it may be worth grabbing them, because it is a type of thing that if you've got, say, 20 of those books, you'll sell one a quarter, one every 6 months. So it's a matter of storage. It's a matter of patience. It's long tail stuff. You're waiting for a guy who needs that book and doesn't want to pay the subscription or would rather have the paper copy to sit down and read, that to do his research. That's what you're waiting on. So there you go. All right. Next up, getting down near the end here. Scrolling. All right. The Destroyer. These are men's like adventure spy type paperbacks. These are from late 60s, 70s. 10 of these beat up. You find one mint. Yeah, right. $25 for this lot of 10. I've got 6 or 7 of these types of lots out there. I'm not probably going to let them run real long. I'm going to and probably stop buying them at Goodwill. I waited till they were half price at least, in the 50-cent range, before I snagged them. These older ones are the ones that have sold. I've tried them on some Facebook groups. No real success. Every now and then somebody says, "Oh, I need that one or that one," but no real success in really letting go of them. They're worth about $1 or $2 a piece, which is the problem. Which is, you either got to sell them in bulk or you got to get lucky and have a guy who wants them local to you. Because I think I could have sold. There's a lot of paperbacks I could have sold on those groups if I lived like within 15 minutes of the guy who wanted to buy them, because they're $1 or $2 a piece, and that was an easy sell, but just can't do it. So a lot of those, I actually have a bookstore I can donate stuff to and get some store credit, and probably going to be a lot of those going on. Okay. Next up, Babysitter's Club graphic novel. Have you heard me talk about these before? Yes, you have. 7 of these, $30. I mean, I've probably sold about 30 of these books in the past year or so. I get 3, I line them up, I throw them up on eBay, they sell in a week. In the $3 to $4 range. What else am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with that? Easy flip, easy money. Alright. Finally? We're not quite finally. We got one more. We got 2 more. That one goes last. Where's the Grendel? Grendel. Here we are. Matt Wagner's Grendel. 2 paperbacks. Black, white, and red. Red, white, black. For $26 for both of these. I got these at the flea market a couple of weeks ago. A friend of mine had a bunch of books she had out, a bunch of graphic novels, some science fiction and that sort of stuff. I think I made my money off of that in one sale. She was just looking to dump stuff. She does like house clean outs and stuff for friends. She has more than she has to do with sometimes. So she's always so she'll just bring a truckload of stuff out there just to get rid of it sometimes. And so she is pretty good with it too. She's got a pretty good head for the numbers. And I made her a good deal. I bought like 2 boxes of books off of her, and we're both made out. So these 2, Grendel's a good comic to grab to flip. These 2 for $26. I got a hardcover on another one that's going for like way higher. I'm going to see how that one goes. Anyway, moving these out. Finally, $50 Alice Chalmers story. American Tractors, $50. I think I sold it last week. I had another Alice Chalmers book that I think moved pretty quick for a high price too. Farm equipment, catalog, stories. I don't know. It's got pictures of tractors. Tractors are awesome. Anyway, Alice Chalmers story. I think this is one of those things that this is a very limited print run. There's 1 or 2 editions of this book. And so that's why the price is kind of high, because there is a little bit of a demand for this type of stuff, particularly fans of tractors, tractor collectors, you need property for that. But they're out there. We have there's a local tractor club here in town. There's a bunch of guys and all their old tractors. Great. And so, tractor books get you and it's sort of the specific, but it's also the about collector books that have limited print runs. I can speak to there's a GI Joe book that's kind of in the same thing that lists out a lot of the 1980s GI Joe figures. There were like 2 print runs of that book, and it's really high demand among GI Joe collectors. So books like that chronicle and have a very good chronicle of stuff worth grabbing. So $50 for that. Did I pay for my trip? Not quite, but I gotta take gas out of it at least. I think so. And that's all this stuff, and good times. Good time doing the Eclipse. Glad to be back so I can actually rest. And we got work to do. You got work to do. I got work to do. Let's get this boxed up and out the door. And y'all have a good day. Like, comment, subscribe. And let's get to selling stuff.